For the first time in 60 years of World Cup history, this tournament does not have one mascot. It has three: Maple the moose, Zayu the jaguar, Clutch the bald eagle, one for Canada, one for Mexico, one for the United States. Three host nations, three mascots, a complete departure from 60 years of tradition, where a single character represented the entire tournament. But mascots are not just merchandise. They are a strange, often overlooked piece of football history that tells you exactly what each host nation wanted the world to feel about them at that exact moment in time. Some were beloved, some were mocked relentlessly. One was so unpopular the host country quietly pretended he didn't exist. Today I want to take you through the complete history of World Cup mascots, the good, the disastrous, and the three new characters carrying that strange tradition into 2026. It started in England in 1966. World Cup Willie, a lion wearing a Union Jack football shirt, became the first ever World Cup mascot. Simple, charming, nobody knew it at the time, but they had just created an entire industry. Willie appeared on merchandise that generated significant revenue for the tournament, and FIFA noticed immediately. Mexico followed in 1970, with Juanito, a young boy in a sombrero wearing the national jersey, designed to represent the host nation's youthful spirit. Then came one of the strangest entries in mascot history. West Germany's 1974 mascot was not one character but two: Tip and Tap, a pair of young boys representing unity between East and West Germany during a politically tense era. Football used as a quiet message of togetherness, wrapped inside a children's cartoon character. By 1978 in Argentina, mascots had become an expected tradition. Gauchito, a small boy in traditional Argentine dress, complete with a whip and hat, represented the gaucho culture of the host nation. Each mascot was becoming a small cultural ambassador, a way for the host country to introduce itself to a global audience through something simple enough for a child to understand. Up next was the era where mascots started getting weird. Spain 1982 gave the world Naranjito, a smiling orange wearing a football kit. Genuinely beloved in Spain, where oranges are a significant export and cultural symbol. It worked because it felt authentically tied to the host nation rather than randomly generic. Mexico's second hosting in 1986 introduced Pique, a jalapeno pepper with a mustache. Once again, culturally specific, slightly bizarre, and oddly memorable specifically because of how strange it was. Italy 1990 brought Ciao, an abstract stick figure made of red, white, and green building blocks, shaped vaguely like a footballer. Divisive. Some saw modern art. Most fans saw confusion. But the real disaster came in 2006. Germany's mascot Goleo, a lion in a football jersey, accompanied by a talking football named Peel, was so poorly received that Germany's own football federation distanced themselves from him almost immediately after the tournament ended. Goleo became something of a cautionary tale in mascot design, proof that you can spend significant money on a character and still have your own country pretend it never happened. By the 2010s, mascots had evolved into a serious global marketing operation. South Africa 2010 introduced Zakumi, a green-haired leopard whose colors represented the country's flag. Genuinely well received, tied beautifully to local wildlife and culture, and one of the more commercially successful mascots in tournament history. Brazil followed in 2014 with Fuleco, an armadillo chosen specifically to raise awareness about an endangered species native to Brazil. A mascot doing conservation work, which had never really been attempted before. Russia 2018 brought Zabivaka, an animated wolf wearing futuristic orange sunglasses. Designed through a public vote, the first time fans were directly involved in choosing the tournament's mascot, rather than having one designed and revealed to them. And then Qatar 2022 introduced Laib, a mascot built from the keffiyeh fabric pattern, deliberately abstract and culturally symbolic, rather than an animal or human character. A clear signal that mascot design was shifting towards something more conceptual and identity-driven, rather than simply cute. The storied history of the mascot's evolution is all pre-2026. Which brings us to the here and now. Maple, Zayu, and Clutch are not just three mascots replacing one. They represent something FIFA has never had to communicate before. A single tournament hosted across three completely different nations, three cultures, three football identities, all needing to feel equally represented. A moose for Canada, a jaguar for Mexico, a bald eagle for the United States. Each one designed with its own backstory, each one meant to carry genuine cultural weight, rather than simply existing as a cute logo on a children's t-shirt. 60 years ago, a lion in a Union Jack shirt was enough to represent an entire tournament. In 2026, FIFA needed three completely different characters just to do justice to the scale of what this World Cup actually is. The mascots have always quietly mirrored the tournament itself, bigger, more complex, more representative with every passing decade. Willie could never have imagined what he started, and somewhere in a stadium this summer, a child wearing a Maple or Zayu or Clutch jersey is going to fall in love with this sport because of a cartoon character. It has been happening since 1966. It is still happening right now.